Career mode is back. This is the German Grand Prix. We've qualified in 6th place. We've got to Force India. The tyre wear is going to be horrific. Let's see how we go. Hello and welcome to Germany. This is part 47 of my career mode championship series. 47 episodes, we're nearing the 50, and when you consider we've done the Cucumber Challenge as well, that is a lot of races on this game. Either way, here we are for the German Grand Prix. Just here in practice, we've got some R&D testing to do. I think if we pass, we might be able to improve the drag on the front of the car. So we'll go out and do that, set a couple laps. We had to do pretty much a long run here, and here we get tangled up by a couple of back markers here. Ikeda, Marussia and Romain Grosjean, who's going slowly. And as you can see on the replay here, we're just getting held up by the Grosjean train, and we pretty much got through there without any contact or any major hassles. And at the end of the session, we ended up in 3rd place with a 1:33.0. So wasn't really pushing, only used lean revs, and ended up in 4th place, only 7/10 off Lewis Hamilton. Now, watch at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. You'll see a Red Bull going very quickly at the apex of this corner. You'll see it now. Just watch the bottom left-hand side there. It's like his brakes failed or something. So, yeah, that's very weird to see in the loading screens while you're just looking at your results. But that's the Friday practice results. Let's head off to the race. Alright, so here we are, sat in the garage of the Force India pits, and as you can see, on the race strategy, we have a wet race on our hands. 3 stops on the intermediates. The tyre wear around this track in the dry is bad enough as it is, let alone the wet. It's going to be very testing, so we'll need to be very good in our tyres. Our consistency and race pace needs to be top notch, so we need to get off to pretty much the perfect start. Wish me luck.
Suppliers home Grand Prix, so we need a good result today.
That's exactly what we need. This is a crucial race for the championship. Hopefully we can get off to a good start, and away we go here in Germany. Looks like the getaway has been fairly average, and the 2nd, 3rd and 4th gear changes have been pretty average as well. Kimi Räikkönen gets off to a flying start, but we're just trying to go for damage limitation into turn 1. Up the inside of Kimi and Alonso. Hamilton sends us into a half spin, which costs us a position to Alonso. So now we drop down into position 4. So starting from 6th place, we've picked up 2 positions. So that's not been a terrible start. I'll take that any day of the week, especially since we're in front of Hamilton. So Alonso runs wide, and that gives us position 3 and a spot on the podium so far. Hopefully we can continue this, and it looks like here on lap 5 we've caught up to the back of Nico Rosberg, who seems to be struggling a lot compared to Sebastian Vettel, who's got up to what, like a 5 or 6 second lead already. He's absolutely flying in this Grand Prix. It looks like he's just in a class of his own pretty much. But we'll be trying to get up the inside of Nico, possibly coming into turn 1. I've used up quite a bit of curves on the opening straight here, going up the inside, and looks like we might just get there. Hopefully we don't lock up the front right, and yes we do. We got up into position 2, and now we just got to chase down Vettel. But here we are on lap 8. Looks like Vettel is absolutely flying at the moment. He's at least a second lap faster than my previous personal best, and Rosberg gets position 2 back as I make a small mistake into turn 1. So now we got to get past him once again, using up a bit of curves on the back straight here. We might be able to dive it up the inside coming into turn 1 again. We'll have to wait and see how that goes. But Rosberg going defensive on nobody, and he's just braked early, and he's allowed us to pretty much dive bomb him from 100 meters back. As we see on the replay, he leaves the room there, and we get the spot back for position 2. And this time, I'm not going to be willing to give up positions as we run wide again. That allows Alonso to get up into position 2. We saved up a bit of curves for this final straight, or the start finish straight. Now we got the position back as we go on the inside into turn 1 now. So here we are on lap 13. I've decided to come in for a new set of intermediate tyres because the conditions haven't changed all that much. So the expectation is I'll stay on this set of intermediate tyres for another 15 laps. I've gone for the undercut here, hopefully in an attempt to maybe catch Vettel a bit in the next stint. So here we are, first pit stop of the day. How is it? 3.2 seconds, so fairly average pit stop, about 0.2 slower than what you'd expect a normal pit stop to be. However, it doesn't cost us too much as we rejoin in 10th place behind Daniel Ricciardo, and he just squeezes in front of us. Thankfully no contact, otherwise that would have been a drive-through penalty coming my way. But now that our tyres have heated up, we've been able to catch up to the back of Ricciardo, and we just dive bomb him coming into this fast left-hander. We just have so much more grip than Ricciardo, who's on much older tyres. But now lap 17, we've gone pole by 6/10, and now we're starting to eke in and catch Vettel hopefully. So going around the outside of Perez into turn 1, and he's turned into us. We're going to have to see a replay of that. I think I was just turning in for the corner, and Perez just completely turns into my line. I tried to leave him space, but yeah, just look at him. He just turns in just ever so much, and that results in contact. And thankfully no damage for either of us. So here we are on lap 22. I think we're coming in for a set of wet tyres now, as the conditions have got a lot worse in the last couple of laps, and now my tyres are starting to go off a lot worse compared to the AI cars. And look at that, Paul di Resta, he's a lap down, and he's going to be coming in for a set of wet tyres as well. So now I'm going to have to stack in behind him, and this is going to cost me a lot of track time and track position as we cycle through into the pit lane now. And I can't believe it, Force India should have managed us a lot better than this. We should have had priority over di Resta, who's a lap down, but now both of our races are going to be pretty much ruined. Well, his race isn't ruined, but you know, he's already a lap down, so I don't know why they decided to bring him in first when we're going to lose out big time to all the rest of the other cars. And the pit stop is 7 seconds. We've been held behind Alonso and Raikkonen, and I think Grosjean as well. So we've lost a lot of positions there. This is going to almost ruin our race, because I don't feel my pace on wet weather tyres will be as good as the intermediate tyres, because there's just not enough as much grip as what there are on inters. And going up the inside of Raikkonen and almost Alonso, we lock the rear tyres. I lock the rear brakes as we try to avoid Alonso, and he leaves us room. We get position 4 back somehow, so that's been a fairly good comeback, and now we've caught up to the back of Paul di Resta, who's literally like 2 seconds a lap slower than me. I can't believe Force India did this. I'm going to show di Resta just how I feel there. I cut him off and threw up the hand in frustration, but now cutting to lap 28, and Kimi Raikkonen has got a run on us coming on to the final chicane here. We're going to try and go through here side by side. I got the inside, and I hold position 4 for the moment, and now we're going to be lapping Sergio Perez in just a matter of moments. So I've got to keep Raikkonen behind. My tyres are starting to go off just a little bit. It looks like my tyres are really almost low on temperature, like I can't get them to grip in with the road. I think I had similar problems around China. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was China where we just was so much slower than the AI. Lapping Perez now, and we split him up the middle, and thankfully no contact between any of the cars. And now on lap 34, we're coming in for another set of wet tyres. This set has lasted us, 13 laps? So the tyre wear hasn't been that great. My pace relative to the intermediate tyres has been pretty terrible. I'm like at least a second a lap slower than all the cars around me. So I've had to almost park the bus quite a bit in this stint. So it's a bit frustrating when for some reason your tyres just don't grip in with the road, and you just have no grip or no traction to pretty much attack. You're just defending for the whole time, and it's very frustrating. But coming out on the track once again, and we've come out in front of Kimi Raikkonen, who tried to undercut us and didn't seem to work for him. But here on lap 43, we're avoiding Perez, who's stuck on the apex, and we just had to go Dukes of Hazzard style over the chicane there, just flying over it. And Perez is now flying once again into the pit lane. So I don't know what kind of problem he has, but either way, it's almost resulted in us getting a penalty as we come in for our final pit stop now on that 48. And this will well and truly be our shortest run or shortest stint of the race. About 12 laps to the very end. And my engineer just came over the radio just a couple of minutes ago saying that light rain is expected for about 10 minutes time. So we might see a short intermediate stint at the very end. We'll have to wait and see how these wet tyres can hold out in drying conditions. But joining on the track now in position 8, right in front of Alonso. And now we're trying to chase down Felipe Massa for position 7, and in front of him, he's trying to pass someone as well. I think that's Ricciardo. Alonso's trying to go on my inside, but I got the inside of Massa in counter-attack, and we throw up our hand in frustration as we make ever so slight contact into the final chicane. And now catching up to Daniel Ricciardo once again in that Toro Rosso, and hopefully we'll be able to pass him coming into this final chicane once again, using up most of our curves in a slipstream. We're probably going to go up the inside, are we? He blocks, goes to the inside. We're going to go to the right and go around the outside this time into the chicane. We get the move done, and now we are into position 6 with Lewis Hamilton in front of us. So now he's up into 4th place. Grosjean now moves down into 5th place. So somehow Lewis Hamilton has played a ace card here, and his strategy has been absolutely fantastic today. He was behind me for pretty much the whole race, and now in the final stint, he's come out on top. Speaking of coming out on top, Sebastian Vettel has won this race. We are a lap down. That's just how slow we were in this race. But coming across the line, we finished in a fairly respectable 6th place.
That's 8 points. Good job.
So there we go, that's the German Grand Prix. Considering it was a full wet race, I'm fairly happy with that result. Only 2 points lost to Hamilton, so it's not all bad in the standings. He in fact got a penalty as well. So did Felipe Massa, I think. Mark Webber was the only DNF of the race. Sergio Perez had brake problems 5 laps down. And in the Drivers' Championship, we are now 30 points behind. So it's not all doom and gloom so far. This is one of our bogey tracks out of the way in terms of tyre wear. We've got Hungary coming up next, and then after that, we should be pretty sweet for the rest of the championship. So constructors, we're still in 6th place, and a couple of points behind Lotus, McLaren, and Ferrari. So that's been this episode for today. Fairly good round for us, considering we were like a second lap slower than the AI. So I'll take 6th any day. But that's been the German Grand Prix. Until my next video, guys, I'll see you next time.